When it comes to psychodrama, we can't go with any kind of a pattern like step or something. Every human is a different.
Exactly.
Everyone has a different story. Yeah, we have to be flexible, dynamic. As this world nowadays, everything is dynamic.
Yes. So, a psychodrama is never repeated. If I do a psychodrama with a certain issue of yours, and if I address the same issue after 1 hour, it'll be different. So, a psychodrama happens only once and then it's gone. Correct? You can't repeat the same thing. It's all in the moment, in the spontaneity, what is coming out.
There are people that might learn a few hours of psychodrama, do a few workshops, and then they're like, oh, I'm ready to do it. No, there are very specific rules that are there, at least with the American Board of Examiners, where I come from. And, Amitabh and Lynn can talk about India. I had to do 780 hours of training, and only after a certain number of hours workshops I slowly started introducing the vignettes, the little exercises, all under supervision. And I was a trained therapist who was doing other modalities and realized, oh, this is so important ethically, that respect and dignity of the client, of the group member, maintaining it is so important.
Most importantly, in universities and colleges that teach psychology. Right now, psychology education in India is limited to very theoretical aspects. There aren't much applications there. So a collaboration with institutes that teach psychology, that's going to be powerful. That's going to make a big difference in the mental health awareness and mental well-being in India.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this special episode of Asli Kahani Podcast. This podcast is specially created for mental health awareness, and in this podcast, we have Dr. Amitabh Ghosh with us, we have Sulabha Bankalji with us, and we have Vaseline with us. And I feel I don't have the right words to explain about their experience, so it's always better. Let's dive deep into the podcast directly and learn from them how mental health is important part of our integral life. So welcome Sulabha, and I feel like I really want to know, like, if just briefly give your journey, like how it started, and like being clinical social worker and certified psychodrama practitioner, how you started, when it started.
Well, it started for me 24 years ago. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, psychotherapist, trauma-informed in private practice in California. My degree is from College of Social Work, Nirmala Niketan, Mumbai. But I went to California, I started living there, got my internship, exams, got the license. The counseling center I was working at, I was doing experiential therapy. And that's where the suggestion came. Do you know about psychodrama? And this is 2000, the year 2000. So I went to one of the workshops, and Dr. Dorothy Satin, she's passed on now, but her 5-day residential workshop I went for. And the first 2 days, all I did was cry. I just didn't know why. And I would ask her, can you tell me why I'm crying? And she would just nod her head and she would say, you will realize, it'll come to you. Keep coming here, keep showing up. And then I did one of my psychodramatic exercises, and it started clicking for me about my grief, about feeling lonely, about feeling dismissed, about feeling invisible in life. And that is all connected with self-worth. And the relief I felt from processing in a psychodramatic way. So what psychodrama is, it's an action method. It uses spontaneity and creativity. It's not scripted. It's in the form of a group therapy. Of course, we can also use it in individual therapy, but primarily Jacob Marino, who is the developer of psychodrama, sociometry, psychodrama, and group psychotherapy. His mission was that we are each other's change agent. Objective is the whole mankind. Then only it is effective. There are so many other modalities where there's cognitive behavioral therapy. There are therapies that help you problem solve, that help you figure out what could be the solution. Here is the problem, here is the solution. What I found with psychodrama is the body stores memories of experiences we have had in our life. So me feeling dismissed, I could feel it in my gut. But was I paying attention to it? No. I was staying in my head trying to make sense out of it. That's why it was not working for me. But in the psychodrama, when I played out the role of my inner child who's feeling neglected because I'm pleasing everybody, because old messages are make everybody happy and then you will be happy. That was not working for me. That's our grooming in society, that make everybody happy, listen, be obedient, and then you'll be happy. I was not happy. I was neglecting my inner self. So the concept of inner child, inner self, those are the inner ego states that need attention. And that's what psychodrama taught me, to start paying attention to my inner self. What does my inner world feel like? And how do I take care of her? That's Sulbha in me. And the more I started doing it, the more my self-worth increased. And the less I was worried about what the world thought about me, what they felt about me. Should I give myself up to be loved by others? Because ultimately what I realized, and anybody who does psychodrama realizes, I give myself up to be loved by you. You cannot love me the way I want to be loved. People will disappoint us. I've given myself up. I've lost you. Now I feel completely alone. So psychodrama to me is about reclaiming myself. And in that process, what it also talks about is experiences from our past that are unresolved, relationships, communication. There is abuse, there's neglect, there's abandonment. Then there are present struggles, day-to-day struggles. How do I relate to people? How do I manage my life? Or there is anxiety about the future. If we role play those situations out in a group setting where there is safety and confidentiality, I can be myself, I can be vulnerable. In the right place at the right time with the right people, right things happen. There is more clarity. And that's what psychodrama's role is.
So, what are the core principle or techniques involved in psychodrama?
In psychodrama, there is sociometry. Sociometry is about connecting, understanding the interaction and connections between people. Positive tele. There's negative tele or neutral. But in a group setting, we are each other's change agents. There is action. First, we have to identify there is something I'm struggling with. There is a warm up to the idea of change. So when spontaneity and creativity increase, anxiety goes down. And then I can process the old situation and have a new perspective it. So there's warm up, then there is the actual action where cathartically I might express negative feelings. Then there is integration, because once I've cleaned out all the old anxiety, the angst, the anger, the shame, the guilt, there is like openness in me that I want to try a new way of dealing with old situations. And that's the integration, the cathartic integration that comes, and new ideas, new insights, new perspectives for the old problem. And then there is the closure and the sharing. And the sharing is important because each group member is impacted in that room with my story, my situation. And we all identify different parts of that with each other. And when we share, we all come together as a community. And the main thing as a human being is I'm not alone in this. I'm not the only one that's feeling ashamed about this situation. I'm not the only one that thinks I'm wrong or so stupid or something is wrong with me. Each group member shares how they were impacted watching this role play going on. So there are auxiliaries in it. There's a protagonist. For example, if I want to say something to my sister, someone in the group is playing the role of the sister. Again, it's spontaneous. There's no script here. So that spontaneity really opens up the stage for a new perspective. And that would be one full scene of a psychodramatic enactment.
I really want to welcome Dr. Amitabh Ghosh also. And it's a very amazing thing, because you are a trauma-informed psychiatrist. So how did your journey started, and what psychodrama, how you switched to psychodrama, and why psychodrama?
One thing, after I finished my psychiatry PG and I started practicing psychiatry, after a certain time I understood, only medicines. I was giving medicines, people are coming back, they're not, improving, So I really got frustrated, I'll tell you honestly. So that's the time I started looking and learning a lot of therapies. And how psychodrama came, I'll just go to that point. So there was a patient who came, and he came in and said, "Oh, I've come to you a lot of hope." And with whatever modalities I knew, I was trying and nothing was working. He was just not getting well because they were more of cognitive talk therapy and they were not working. And I was looking for some other models, which I could use. to help people. And while I was doing my research, I just came across psychodrama. Honestly, I did not know anything about psychodrama. Although I'm a psychiatrist, I knew nothing about psychodrama. I read up about psychodrama. I understood nothing. So then there was a 4-day workshop that was happening in Chennai. And I went for that 4-day workshop. And I go in and see a gentleman sitting down with wearing a robe, So he was a monk. So I was thinking, let's see. Then I found out he's the trainer. So he was Dr. Herbert Proper. He was my trainer, right? And he was a Buddhist monk also. I still had my doubts, I'm a psychiatrist. What this monk is going to teach me, let's see. That was the attitude, Half day into the first training, I had by the way, I had already a plane ticket next day. If it doesn't work out, I'm going. I didn't tell them, but I went with that preparation. I don't want to waste 4 days. And in the lunch break, I canceled the ticket. And I decided I'm going to pursue this. I didn't wait for 4 days. In half a day, I knew that this is something I was looking for. Because in that half day, something happened, like you just, which changed my life. I got a different perspective about something in a short exercise, like a 6-7 minutes exercise. Mm-hmm. I see in a 6-7 minute exercise, what was bothering me so long, if you can get a different perspective, this must be an ocean here, and I just scratched the surface. So I decided to pursue, and that was in 2019, and I'm still training. You understand? Mm-hmm. I've trained with Dr. Herbert Proper. He passed away, in 2023, October 6th. I also trained with a lot of other trainers, like Daniela Simmons, Eva Falstrom, Peter Hovey, Rebecca Walters. Now I'm training with her also, So it's an ongoing process. Every time I'm training, I'm learning something new. So it helps me to become a better person myself. If I'm a therapist, right? If I'm a psychiatrist, I have to do my own work also. That's very, very important. Lot of psychiatrists, lot of therapists, they don't do their personal work. They think, I've done my master's. I know everything, how to handle a patient. Knowing psychology will not enable you to help a patient. It's who you become also. This is not surgery. This is not medicine. You got that? You got the tools, you got the medicine, tuck, likh ke de do, and everything is done. It's not that. It's a lot of a human touch. You got that? So you have to become that. You have to change yourself. Is who you become is also important. While I was doing psychodrama workshops, I was a protagonist. A lot of psychodrama I did, with my trainers. So changes were happening in me also. I was becoming more confident person, more, empowered, more self-regulated. You got that? So when I become better, I help my patients better. And in addition to that, I had another tool, and they do wonderful.
When it comes to psychodrama, we can't go with any kind of a pattern like step or something. Every human is a different.
Exactly.
Everyone has a different story. Yeah, we have to be flexible, dynamic. As this world nowadays, everything is dynamic.
Yes. So, a psychodrama is never repeated. If I do a psychodrama with a certain issue of yours, and if I address the same issue after 1 hour, it'll be different. So a psychodrama happens only once and then it's gone. Correct? You can't repeat the same thing. It's all in the moment, in the spontaneity, what is coming out.
The same thing, because I really want to highlight one point here. I have spent almost a decade in higher education. The main problem what I saw with the education, it's like it's a very set pattern of course for everyone. How it is practical, that's why it's not impacting that education what we are delivering nowadays. I think it has to be some new ways we have to find out. I think so many people are working on that way also. But again, yes, education also, if education can't be same for everyone, so
it has to be individualized.
Something.
Because we are, as individuals, are all very unique in our own
exactly.
way.
Psychodrama gives that space to do that.
Absolutely.
I really understood that.
When I was studying trauma, I was studying trauma, I realized, okay, now I know everything about trauma. Now what? If somebody says, they can also learn the same thing from the same books, right? So I know it's all here. Now what I do, right? It's psychodrama. And the best part of psychodrama is when I'm doing a psychodrama with some, say, patient, not only the patient is healing, I am healing too. Yeah. That's the best part. Tell me in which therapeutic model, when you are treating the patient, okay, or the client, whatever you call it, the client is healing and you are also becoming better. So everyone in the room becomes better. That's the best part of a psychodrama.
We are each other's change agent.
Welcome, Wesleyan.
Thank you.
I really want to understand like the idea behind Morano Psychodrama Collective and its significance in the global psychodrama community.
Amitabh and I have been learning and practicing psychodrama. And what we realized is that while we have been fortunate enough to be able to afford the training, we realize that it is an expensive training and it is also inaccessible not from a financial perspective. It is also inaccessible because the trainers are largely English speaking. So we have a vision that, and we share that vision with the founder of psychodrama, which is J.L. Moreno, who believed that psychodrama should not be, restricted to the library shelves, but it should be in every street, in every room, And we wanted to make sure that it is there in every city in India, in every town in India. We want to make it accessible from a language perspective. We want to remove the barriers that is now present in pretty much all psychological modalities, where it is limited to the cities and limited to English-speaking people. So what we want to do is we want to bring training in India, create trainers, obviously people who have access to English, and then we also want to make sure the current trainees are multilingual. For example, he speaks English, Hindi, Bengali. I speak English, Hindi, Tamil, and Malayalam. And we want to make sure all our trainees are multilingual so that when we in turn become trainers, we are training in those local languages, and we are also providing access for mental health support and other support in those languages. So the significance why we feel it is important is to remove the barriers, to make it accessible and sustainable. So that's the whole reason why we are here.
I always feel that we have to learn every day, every second we are learning. We have to learn. Everyone, how many people are following that thing, we don't know. But I think if I always feel wherever we stop learning, that our downfall starts. It's amazing. Like I will definitely be a regular student of psychodrama from now onwards.
Well, Zurka Marino used to say at any given point in our life, even as we are on our deathbed, there are 3 issues, 3 situations, 3 challenges that we will be facing, because life is happening every minute. And therefore, we have to show up to process it ongoing.
It's really like a noble cause, because what I feel nowadays, whatever things are happening, whatever things like wrong things, the core or the base behind all those things is the mindset.
Absolutely.
So whenever I see any kind of things now, whether it's like suicides, whether it's like divorce, people like office politics or general thing also. Now everywhere the main thing is the mindset. We are not understanding what are we doing.
That's interesting what you said about mindsets, which, reminded me one of the other aspects. Most of the modalities which we learn are coming from the West, right? And culturally, we are very different from the West. With all due respect for the ways they've identified, the amount of research they put into human mind is commendable. It is not to say that we don't have a strong footing ourselves. Our Eastern philosophy has been quite influential in the West as well. So one of the things we want to do is we want to make a modality like psychodrama, which is very spiritual and philosophical in nature, accessible in the cultural context of our country, in the social fabric of our country. And that we can do only if there are Indian trainers. So as much as possible, we also work with trainers of Indian origin. For example, you met Sulabha Byankar. We are also talking to another trainer of Indian origin called Ananta Chauhan. So we are trying to assimilate as much training from the West as possible and also provide the Indian cultural context and the societal fabric upon which each of us live. And that contributes to our mindset. So changing the mindset needs those aspects as well.
Psychodrama training as of now is primarily in the cities, Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, okay, with the English speaking crowd. Now, what happens? Say in a small town, right? Some trainers, some people who just train for few hours, right, who are not trained enough, they will go to these small cities and train psychodrama. You got what I'm saying? So when we have proper trainers, right, these trainers will go like trained trainers. They can go to the small cities and train. So they have access to the training in their own language. One more thing I want to add, as she said, cultural. Like there's something called bibliodrama, where they connect psychodrama with biblical stories. We can do that with Gita also, right? We can do that with Quran also. We can do it with Indian Veda also, with Indian mythological stories also. We can do that, right? Which people will connect, our culture.
In main cities, we had good super specialty hospitals and all. And when it comes to tier 2, tier 3, that jhola chap doctors and compounders, and like it was very. Nowadays, it's improving. Nowadays, we are having good medical facilities in tier 2, tier 3. also.
And it is also about how, while allopathy was considered very superior, our Indian Ayurveda was relegated to the corners. But now things are changed. We are understanding the importance of what we have. That's the same thing we want to bring too. There is an importance of the Indian philosophy in the improvement of mental health, and it can contribute in a way that Western medicine can't.
So same, like, because Ayurveda also like got out from the society for long because there was not trained professionals. Now we are having institutes to teach
Yes.
Ayurveda.
Yes.
The research are happening there. We are understanding, and more than allopathy, people are believing Ayurvedas now.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a really important part what you guys are doing now.
And the other part is that while psychodrama is predominantly practiced among mental health professionals, there is a lot of benefit and application for psychodrama in the non-clinical spaces. For example, in educational background, in organizations, in community building. Psychodrama has an aspect of that called sociodrama. And then there is the tools of sociometry and sociatry. Basically, these are all components that help us develop the community, help us create communities. So one of the things that we would like to do is work more closely with teachers, school counselors, so that we can bring the concepts and the principles of sociometry and psychodrama into communities, into schools. So there is a big scope for this kind of a training for teachers, corporate people, for HR professionals, for team leaders, because it is all about working with a group of people, and all fields full of people, right? So any field where there is relationships, where there's interaction with one or two, so psychodrama and sociometry has a role to play.
I really feel like nowadays we are seeing unity is like missing
Yes.
from the society.
Yeah.
And we really like Psychodrama Collective, and when you came, you saw here because
Your open mic.
that we have started up building a community called Backyard.
Backyard, yeah.
So these kind of community, I feel it's really required in the
That's
society
sociometry,
nowadays.
connecting people.
Connecting
See,
people.
sociometry exercises can also be taught to teachers. Okay, it's not as tough as psychodrama. Like basic things can be taught. So teachers can do it with their students. Right? Even when the awareness comes to their teachers, for example, with the educators and other teachers, and they know there is something which can help their students. If the teachers are aware, they can send their students to a trained psychodrama practitioner. You got that? It's not that everyone should become a practitioner. If the teachers are exposed to psychodrama, they understand how psychodrama helped them, they know something is there. You got that? And they can send their students. Okay, go and do this. Students are also at loss when their grades are falling, for example. Teacher knows the child is good, is intelligent, but the grades are falling. What did they do? They punish the child, push the child to study more. But what is happening? there are fights happening at home. There is abuse happening at home. There is neglect happening at home. And that is why the child's grades are falling. The grades will never go up by giving 2 more tuitions, okay, or pressurizing the child to study 24 hours. The child needs psychodrama.
That's why I like.
That's the awareness the teacher must have.
Yeah, serious. That's we need so many improvements in education system, and
Yes.
this is something that we should introduce.
In the US, even lawyers use psychodrama, to understand their clients, to doubling them, role reversing with them. They use psychodrama. So actually, psychodrama can be used by everyone. You can learn psychodrama. It will help you also. You got that?
Yeah, like I'm understanding while talking, like understanding psychodrama now. It is helpful in every walks of life.
For your own life, for your own development.
Yeah.
You got that? Everyone, as I said, need not become practitioners and trainers. But even for your own work, own development, psychodrama is useful.
It really improved the relationships.
Exactly.
Yeah, sociometry is about improving connections and creating connections and identifying how you and I are not as different as we believe. We are very similar, and the sociometric exercises help us understand what are the areas where we are common, what are the areas where we share interests, and simple exercises that really helps us to deepen our connections and community and harmony. So like you said, when I walked in, I met your community, and a lovely group of people who seem to have come together several times and created a group. But we can do the same thing in half an hour by a trained sociometrist. It's just a technique.
What it took you 1 month perhaps can be done in
30 minutes. Yeah.
Got that. And that's exactly the mission of Morino Psychodrama Collective. We want to get psychodrama to your home, for your family. You understand? So to the schools, we want to take it there, in offices and everywhere.
It's a tool for community building, and we believe that that skill should be accessible in every corner of our country, in every language as possible.
I can see the passion behind your vision and mission. So I just want to know, like, how and what motivated you to take psychodrama to that regions, and like what was the moment when you decided that it should go to every part of the country or the world?
I was inspired by my own trainer, Dr. Herb Proper. He's an American, like Amitabh mentioned earlier. He's an American who is a Buddhist monk. And he first came into Asia. He started with Bangladesh, and then he was also working in India and Nepal. And he had this vision and he was learning our languages. He was learning Bengali, he was learning Hindi, with the intention of being able to teach psychodrama in those languages. So I was primarily inspired by him. And most of us are multilingual. So I have clients with whom I interact in other languages. And then I realized that while I can do that because I have that fluency of language, there are equally smart practitioners in the villages or in towns who have the knowledge, who has the ability, provided we skill them up. And to skill them up, we need to bring those languages into everyday classrooms where these are taught. Am I making sense?
Obviously, yeah. And could you share any unique success story, challenge what you have faced during this collective mission?
I had a client who speaks only Tamil, and I was working with them, and I did a small psychodrama with them. Some psychodramatic techniques. They felt very empowered by it, and they said, "I've gone to many therapists in my town, but nobody is able to speak the way you're speaking or understand the way you are able to understand me. So what's going on, and how can I get more access to this in my town?" That's when I realized that it's a very small town in Tamil Nadu, and they don't have any trainers there. There aren't any practitioners there. So I reached out to an institute there where I had taken some other training. And I realized that it's not possible because the training happens only in Bombay or only in Chennai or only in Bangalore. Practitioners from small town cannot leave their practice for 1 week, 10 days and keep coming to these cities and live there and get trained. Which is when Amitabh and I were talking about it, and we realized that we have to take the trainers there. We have to take the training there if we really want to make an impact.
So, what made me think that we should spread this training is when many of my patients, they travel overnight in train, come from interior of Maharashtra and Pune and many other cities for their work, for their therapy, and they go back, right? So there's the time I thought, how long can they do this? How many people can do this?
Yeah.
You understand? The person is coming, maybe he has the resources and he's coming, okay? But everyone can't do that. So we must take this beautiful technique to their cities. And we can only take it to their cities when we have enough trainers. I mean, trained practitioners who will go there and practice. And practitioners from their cities, not someone living in Mumbai going and doing it there. You got that? It is from that small town, someone who gets trained and goes and helps people there. That makes sense.
I want to add one thing here, because as rightly you said, that the trainer should be from that region. Because as I travel a lot, I have traveled 80% of India on my bike only. So while traveling, I seen that every 100 kilometer, it's a different.
Yes.
Dialect are different, the vibes, the food, the clothing, everything changes in every 100 kilometer. India is a wonderful country.
Yes.
So it's very difficult. As you said, right, that trainer should be from that particular, because they knows that region. There are so many things have to understand about the region. Based on that only their education and everything, whatever we are treating them, it should be with that thing. Like we should be aware. The trainer has to be aware about
Yeah,
that.
the diversity has to be integrated into the training.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we will not be able to give the respect and dignity that every individual requires. And that's integral part of a person's journey into well-being and mental health, So unless that diversity is factored in our trainings, in our schools, in our education, basically into our system, we will not be able to develop as a country. We won't be able to develop as an individual.
So we are in the first stage, you understand?
Yeah.
We becoming trainers. We becoming trained trainers. Right? So when we have, I'll tell you, if you want to take this training to a small city in India, right? You can't get a trainer from the US, right? And take them to the small cities. Correct or not? So we need to become the trainers first. And there has to be enough number of trained trainers, who will do no harm. Right? And then we will go to the second level and the third. It's not a 3 or 4 year stuff. It's a long vision. It'll take a long time, but we'll reach there.
I'm really inspired with your approach, because being a psychiatrist, professional psychiatrist for almost 2 decades, you're still, instead of going with that thing, I'm psychiatrist, I will do this only, you want to try and learn new things that will help public, like society, everything. I want to understand one thing, like how do you integrate psychodrama with other techniques for a holistic living?
When I see a patient, okay, and if the patient is decompensated, not self-regulated, you understand, they're cognitively, they're shut. So there's the time I do need to give medicines. It's not that I'm saying, medicines nahi dena hai, aisa nahi hai, that I do need to give medicines, okay. But the question is it's not about making them symptom-free. Okay. The person is no more depressed, is feeling good, and is popping 2 pills a day for 15 years. That doesn't make sense to me. You got that? Yes, I'll give medicines, so they feel good, they can go back. Like, for example, if a person comes to me and is not productive at work, they lose their job. So I need to give them medicines for a short period of time so that they feel better and can go back to their job. But for a permanent cure, I must do something else so that they can stop their medicines, and they can be cured, I should say. Right? I mean, it's a very, this is what I'm saying cured, because people say, no, it doesn't get cured. But for me, lot of people have quit medicines for years now. So I really use that term. Right? So that's it. And psychodrama is something that is one of the best to do that. Best modality.
How do you see psychodrama evolving in the field of mental health in coming decades? Or
Oh, it's going to, with Moreno Psychodrama Collective. You just know that. It's going to happen. I know it. If we started something, we're going to see the end of it. I mean, it's going to go on. You understand?
Yeah.
There'll be a next generation. Okay, there'll be more people joining hands in the same mission. Right? And it'll move on.
Definitely. We will see the change.
But see, things, if something has to flourish, it has to be in the right way. Are you getting something? We just can't make something, let people know and do something just for the sake of it. Right? It has to be in the right path. It has to be in the right technique. Then it will stay. Like if you build a castle on the sand, what will happen? It will fall, right? So it has to be done with the right foundation. And then you build slowly and it will stay. That's what is the aim. Is not to build a big building on the sand.
What I would add to what he just said is that one of the ways psychodrama is going to really impact mental health is psychodrama gives another aspect of psychodrama is group psychotherapy, which means that we are going to, in that 1 hour where as a therapist, either Amitabh or I get to meet one client, if we are doing group psychotherapy, in that 1 hour, 1.5 hour, I'm meeting 10 people. And all the 10 of us are healing each other. So in group psychotherapy, I'm not just the therapist. All the group members are group therapists. And we help each other. So that's the ripple effect that's going to come. So if I have 10 trainers and each 10 trainer is running 10 groups, what am I talking about? Look at the numbers I'm talking about. So in 1 hour where in an individual therapy I can make an impact with one person, I'm going to be able to make it with 10 people. So that's a big way in which the psychodrama is going to change the way. This is not to say that psychodrama is not the only one with group psychotherapy modality. I'm not saying that. But this is a very powerful modality that empowers group psychotherapy, gives the skills and the training that a therapist needs. Same way, training in psychodrama, sociometry, will also impact other leaders, whether they're in the role of coaches, in the role of educators, in the role of community builders. The skills given is to be able to interact and train and deal with groups of people. So that is the way I feel there's going to be an impact.
Yeah. You see, I'll tell you something. Let's say a guy comes in a group, okay, and is doing his own work. Now that person, when he heals, he goes back to another group in his house. So that's also a group, mom, dad, siblings, grandfather, that's also a group. So when he heals, he's also healing the family. You got that? He learns something. His behavior changes, his being changes. And that brings a change in the family also. You got that? If somebody is a drug addict, for example, is abusing substances, and that causes a lot of problem in the house, right? So when that person comes and heals, the whole family changes. See what happens when somebody is taking substances. They put them in the rehab, okay, and give some medicines. That person comes back, and the very reason he was taking substances is because of some issues, traumas in the childhood, but they are not gone. So he takes substances again, and he goes in and out of the rehab. Those are the people who needs this model.
So I really want to get because nowadays we are seeing so many people are addicted and addiction of anything. It's not only intoxication, they are addiction. What I see addiction is like a repetitive order, whatever we are repeating again and again.
There are many trauma-informed psychiatrists, and one of them I've learned from him, and I really adore him, is Basil Van Leeuwenhoek. Okay, and there are many others. Okay, they all say that people with substance abuse, a great majority of them, say 90%, okay, have started substance abuse because of their childhood traumas. You got that? So, what do you see? A child, okay, was traumatized because of home, because of the environment, because of the caregivers, wherever, right? And now, that person, when he grows big, they have a lot of issues. They are suffering. So they need their 5 minutes of happiness. Okay. And they get their friends, get in touch with substance, and it helps them to numb the pain. Right. And they get addicted to it. And now the very like caregivers who caused it will make them, blame them, shame them, okay, and put them in rehabs. Right? I'm not saying rehabs are bad. It's not that you should not put in the rehabs. But after they come back from the rehabs, what happens? The reasons for which they started taking substances are not gone. The childhood issues are there, still in the body, right? They need to be taken out. The cause is still there. That's where psychodrama comes in. Very reasons why they started taking substances, the developmental trauma, the childhood trauma, all that, the past issues in their life, they are still there. Correct? And they are getting triggered all the time. And when they're getting triggered, they're getting decompensated. Right? They're getting dysregulated. And that's the medicine. They go and take some substance to calm themselves, to feel good. Right? And all of them get together. It's like a community feeling and they feel calm. You got that? So when they're put in the rehab, of course, rehab helps. It's not that it does not help, right? To detoxify them but when they come back, those reasons which caused, made them take substance are still there, correct? They have to be addressed. So their psychodrama comes in. They improve their coping skills. They are more self-regulated. Okay, they are less triggered, right? And then they slowly come out of it. So I feel, personally, in the rehabs, the psychodrama should start. So when they're in the rehabs getting treated, what happens in the rehab? They're giving medicines and they're given talk therapy. That's all that happens, which nothing goes in, right? And they come out and they do the same thing. And when you go in and out of the rehab several times, then those medicines also don't work anymore. That's the use of psychodrama.
Psychodrama is like treating the roots of
exactly.
the issue.
The root cause. Changing the person. I call it metamorphosis. From a caterpillar to a butterfly. That's the change. Not from a small caterpillar to a bigger caterpillar. You understand? Okay. It's full change. That's the change that happens. And that's our mission. That's like me, Wesley, and there's another team member we have. It's called Lavanya Singh. Okay. We three have started this. This is the mission. And of course, with the support and blessing of all our teachers who are coming and helping us to become trainers one day, and then we'll go and make other trainers.
Lavanya is a trained coach, and she is hoping to bring psychodrama and the psychodramatic methods in the corporate world, in among coaches and HR professionals, like I mentioned earlier, and also build community there. So that's where her focus is. I'd like to work with building community in the education space, in the academic space. I'm also working in the clinical side of it. So Lavanya is more focused on the non-clinical uses of psychodrama. Organizations, any institutions.
Like you rightly said. So what collaborations or advancement would you like to see in the field to make psychodrama more accessible?
I'd like to change that. It's not about making psychodrama more accessible. It's about making communities more powerful using psychodrama. Yeah. And the collaborations I would like there would be, like he said, if you were to look at the clinical field, definitely in rehab centers. There is a collaboration that would benefit all stakeholders in schools, collaborations with schools, most importantly, in universities and colleges that teach psychology. Right now, psychology education in India is limited to very theoretical aspects. There aren't much applications there. So, a collaboration with institutes that teach psychology, that's going to be powerful. That's going to make a big difference in the mental health awareness and mental well being in India. Then again, collaborations with NGOs that work in building communities, particularly in minorities, with the LGBTQ community, with victims of domestic violence. These are all
In
community
jails.
in jails. Absolutely, psychodrama. There are psychodramatists in other parts of the world. Like recently, we met a British psychodramatist called Clark Bain. He started with prison work. In jails, it works amazingly. It is about, again, changing the mindset. So, the other collaboration we would like is with governments, with the public servants, with officials who understand, who are creating communities. If there is a way where we can work with them, they can understand that communities can be built around so many aspects. So your panchayats and your municipalities, juvenile justice homes, where there are children who are there, who are in conflict with law, are there. What we would like for them is work with them using psychodrama techniques, help them understand their own strengths so that they can, pave a better life for themselves. So yes, we would love collaboration in all these spaces.
See, I'll tell you, as I told you, psychodrama works very well with people who have traumas, right? In the childhood traumas. So it's a very important place for using psychodrama is schools to make sure they don't get traumatized. Children are traumatized and then you work with them. Okay, do something in the beginning. So if we can have this in schools, like in schools there is so much of bullying, right? There are a lot of humiliation from teachers. A lot of people come because they have been humiliated by teachers, beaten by teachers, right? So introducing psychodrama to teachers, to even to school students, that will empower them, that will help them to self-regulate, cope with things. They will not feel helpless, they will not feel victimized, right? So it really is really useful in school. So you understand how important is it to have trained trainers. Just think, some people with few hours of training, if they are going and doing stuff with students in school, I mean, you have to take your own responsibility.
It's very dangerous.
You see, you said it, right? Going and working with children, like for example, a sociometric exercise. Let me tell you, a sociometric exercise is just not doing the exercise. Why you're doing the exercise? What is the question you're going to put? How is going to help everyone and not trigger somebody? These are all important things. This requires training. Just learning one exercise. If I teach you an exercise, next minute you can go and do it. But it's not about doing. It's just like medicine. I have an antibiotic, but which disease are you going to give it? In what dose are you going to give it? For how many days? All these are important. That's these exercises are like medicines. You understand? So that's why you need trainers.
How can an individual, especially in that undeserved communities, can benefit by the psychodrama?
Okay, let's take a community. Let's take the LGBTQ community. Their challenges are very unique to them, and hence it is important that they create their own community. Now, how do we create a community? By using sociometric techniques. So we are trying to talk about creating a group for personal development with the LGBTQ community in Mumbai. What we are trying to do is bring them together, give them the tools so that they can communicate with each other in a language that, upholds their own respect and dignity, and also gives them the language to understand. When I say language, it's about using your body, your mind, your emotional understanding to communicate and also receive the communication you're giving me. To create that base, to understand that we may be from different backgrounds, we may have different orientation, but in the base of things, we understand the challenges of a relationship. Now, if we can get to that level only if we can remove and, put my eyes in yours and yours in mine and see how we are actually similar, and then help each other, co-create spaces where we can heal each other, be each other's co-healers. So in these communities where they experience a lot of discrimination or they experience a lot of oppression, psychodramatic techniques are very useful, particularly the sociometric techniques.
It's really fascinating, like what all I understood about psychodrama today. If you can just share a real life scenario, like where psychodrama created a significant impact. So if you can share any story or something.
How about we do it live demonstration here?
Life means.
Would you consider being the protagonist?
Oh, now?
Yeah. That's the best way for me to guide you through the experience, and then you can share what it felt like.
I would love to. We just have to make few changes in the setup.
Sure.
But I think we can do that. Let's try.
That's the best testimonial that you can give.
Perfect.
Your testimonial.
Your testimonial.
True.
Yeah.
Let's try it. Yeah.
Okay. So just before we start, what is your experience as a Gestalt participant? You have done experiential exercises?
My experience was like literally the way he said that we are almost holding a memories. The thing what we are like facing trouble or whatever, that's all just a memory. No,
Okay.
It's not happening now.
Okay.
It's not present. It's the past.
It's
We
the
are
past.
unnecessarily carrying it.
Okay.
And after that, I have seen changes in my mindset, ideology, everything.
Okay.
So it was amazing experience. Like it's something that I can't explain what I felt. It's very difficult.
Very true, because it's more intuitive, correct?
Yeah.
And it's spontaneous. So the same thing happens in psychodrama. So in psychodrama, yes, we deal with trauma and we deal with negative experiences, but we also want to enhance the resources that we have. So this particular demonstration, I'm looking at more of building the resources within us. Okay. So get comfortable. The body is very important. The breath is also very helpful, right? So take a couple of deep breaths. When you breathe in, your stomach should pop out. So part of the grounding, notice the couch you're sitting on, where your hands are, your breath, the rhythm of your breath, the sounds you're listening to, the sights around you, the colors. It's very here and now. Notice your breath as it goes all the way down to your belly button. Can you think of and bring up somebody, something, place, person, thing, a concept, a spiritual figure, can be anything, can be nature, something that supports you, believes in you, someone that believes in you, supports you. And it's spontaneous. So as I'm saying these words, is there anybody or anything, any entity, any concept that's popping up in your mind right now?
Yeah.
Who would that be?
The mountains.
The mountains?
Yeah.
Okay. They mean a lot to you?
Yeah.
Okay. How about somebody that knows you well, believes in you, supports you, has been a resource in your life, has been a strong positive impression?
That thing is like mother.
Mother? Your mom?
Mom.
Okay. So how about we do this little demonstration and this little exercise about your mother and you?
Yeah.
Okay. So the core of psychodrama says, I see you with your eyes in me and my eyes in you. And that is how we get perspectives about people in our life. Resources, whenever there are negative impressions, a different insight, a new insight to an old situation, right? So right now you said when you're thinking about strength or someone that believes in you and has an impression on you, came up with your mom, all right? So let's try this exercise. What we're going to do first is we're going to do something called role reversal. Okay, so you're going to come and sit here, and Amitabh is going to sit in your place.
Okay.
Right now, Amitabh is the interviewer, and you are now in the role of your mother.
Okay.
So, first, let's look at the energy, kind of get into her energy. What is her name?
Shushila.
Sushila. Okay. Sit here for a second and talk about yourself as you are Sushila. Something about yourself, Sushila.
I'm Shushila. Like, I'm a person that just go with the flow. Doesn't want anything for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I'm not. I'll start crying if I go more.
Well, then, so be it. That's the power of taking on this role for you. So right now you're Sushila,
Yeah.
and you're getting interviewed by somebody about your son, your relationship with your son.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead, interviewer.
So, Sushila ji, namaste.
Namaste.
So, just tell me a little bit. Tell me a little bit about your son. Some of the good qualities in your son.
He's mad.
Hmm?
He's mad.
Notice your breath. Take a breath in. You're still Sushila. See?
So, you love your son?
Yeah.
So, why do you love your son? What are some of his qualities that make you love him?
I don't think for the quality. I just love him.
I mean, what is in him that you love? You're proud of your son.
He's like me.
He's like you? Like what?
I'm like available for everything, everyone. Not thinking about
He's helpful.
kind of.
He's helpful. Okay. Okay. What else?
His decisions.
He make good decisions.
Yeah.
Okay, he's helpful. He makes good decisions.
I notice that you're choking up right now, Sushila ji.
Mm.
Feel that. Feel that feeling that's coming up. And if that feeling could speak right now to this interviewer, what would this feeling say about your son?
He balance everything like very nicely, and whenever he's sitting with someone, he always try to become like behave like them only. He don't want to force his own thoughts to anyone.
So he gels with people well.
Yeah.
Sushila ji, if you have to give one piece of advice, right, to your son, what would that be?
That is definitely that. Don't be make yourself over available for everything and anything. Set your limits.
Take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself.
How about? I know you said you were already asked. What makes you proud of him as your son? Is there anything new coming up about that for you? Notice your body right now as you think about your son. If there was a statement, I'm proud of him.
I think that the same that he started thinking the way I always wanted him to. That in last few years he started like that. Earlier he was in a different zone. So that thing that he understood anything that everything we should not take granted.
And that makes you proud of him.
Yeah.
Okay. Take another deep breath. Check if there's anything else you would like to tell your son. If there is nothing, that's okay.
Nothing is coming.
So now we're going to de-roll you. I'm no longer my mother Sushila. I am
Nakul.
Nakul. Okay. And you're going to reverse roles. You're going to go back to your seat. And now you are going to be Nakul's mother, letting him know your thoughts.
So I'm Nakul's mother.
I'm your mom.
I'm your mom. And I just go with the flow. You know? And I love my son very much.
I love you.
I love you very much and I'm proud of you. And you're very honest, you're hardworking, and you are very helpful. You help people. And you're doing things which I always wanted to see you doing. Just one piece of advice, that look after self also. Look after yourself. Don't be always available. Others, you must be available for yourself.
Take a deep breath in, Naku. Take this in. Let soak into it. Let it land into you.
I'll do that. I'll take care of myself.
And I'm very proud of you.
I'm very proud of you. And
Thank
I
you.
love you a lot.
I know that.
Where do you feel that in the body? As you're hearing your mom's words, where do you notice?
Somewhere, mostly.
Mostly here.
Yeah.
And if take a breath in and feel it, and if that sensation here could speak, what would it say?
It's like we don't talk all those things. So it is something that we all have inside us, but we don't speak like that to mother.
Correct. But now you have heard those words.
Yeah.
So what is that sensation saying about receiving
Feeling relaxed and like very heartwarming.
heartwarming? So that's a very heartwarming feeling here. Okay. So take that in. Yeah. Okay. So I am no
I
longer.
am Amitabh, and I'm no longer your mom.
Yeah.
This got derolling.
This is called derolling. Going back to who I am.
Who I am.
He was in a role. So take a moment and see if there's anything coming up for you about this experience. What would you say this experience was like for you?
It's like it's coming like stepping down into other person's shoes. Generally, we say now,
Yeah.
and we generally tell others that I'm understanding what you are saying, what you are going through, but are we really understanding that? So today, when you told me, then I went there.
Yeah.
So
So having experienced this experience, how does the feeling feel about this experience?
it's like now I can go and talk to my mother. All those things.
It opens up, right? It's almost like giving yourself permission and validation that it'll be okay to talk about
Okay,
this.
to talk about. Correct.
And how is your body feeling right now?
It's very light.
Very light.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ultimately, what do we want? We don't want stress and body aches and pains about things that are going on in our life. Right? So the more we express ourselves, the more we are able to receive somebody's love or validation and let it land into us, it relaxes our body.
Yeah. True.
And that's the power of psychodrama.
Even like without having her here, she is not here. She
Correct.
was not here, and still I'm feeling very relaxed.
Yeah. And you're feeling her presence.
Presence. Like
That-
still she is. I can visualize her
Yes.
while seeing you. Also, half face is like the glimpse I'm doing, and I'm seeing that she's sitting everywhere. I can see that mother.
Yes. Yes. So it activates all our senses. So this is the body, mind, and spirit connection, aligning our whole body and spirit together through a very experiential exercise like this. And it helps to build relationships, even repair some relationships where people have not talked to each other. It motivates people to take some reasonable risks of connecting with people.
And I like because I have done that guest hall thing now. So today it was for me like I can easily able to imagine because we have already experienced few things. Last time when we were doing guest hall, that time I was little skeptical about opening myself. Like it was very difficult for me. I tried, but it was not coming out. Now it's becoming because we have to practice. Like I understood, we have to practice again and again. Then it will give you more impact. So today it's like amazing.
Gestalt has come from psychodrama.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the ideas were taken by Gestalt therapy because Jacob Marino, who is the he's the developer of psychodrama, sociometry, and group psychotherapy. 1921. So it's an action method of psychotherapy, of group psychotherapy. And what I have experienced is there are past experiences, unresolved experiences. There are present struggles, and there are future concerns that we all struggle with as people, as humans. We try to make sense out of it by thinking through things. But we can not only just cognitively process everything, because the body stores memories. So I can make sense out of things, I can problem solve, I can come up with a plan. But if it does not bring the body's experience, the memories into it, then it is incomplete. So what psychodrama does, because it's an action method, people role play situations from their past, present, future, unresolved issues. And when action is included, the body, the mind, the spirit, everything aligns.
Correct.
Right? And that feels like a complete resolution or processing. So that's why it's more powerful. I'm a trauma therapist, trauma informed. And what I have always said is, how do you make sense out of senseless things that have happened in our life? You cannot. Abuse, neglect, abandonment, being invisible, disrespected, minimalized.
Domestic violence.
Correct. That's the part of the abuse. Marginalized, not insignificance. Those are very subtle experiences. If somebody is physically hitting you, it's very obvious, right? If there is sexual abuse, it's very clear. It's very specific. But feeling insignificant, feeling invisible, I don't matter. Those emotional scars that are there on our body, in our mind, in our soul, they can be processed by cognitive thinking and problem solving. And I feel that's the limitation of other modalities and therapies. Because it's action oriented, you role play out a situation in a group. Sociometry, psychodrama, and group psychotherapy go very well together, because sociometry it's the study of connecting people together. So in a group situation, each group member becomes a change agent for the other member in the group. And it creates your own tribe, your own circle of support. So when sociometry is used and psychodrama does the enacting of situations, and your group members help you process, like the demonstrations, someone takes the role of your mother. They are now coming into your world to help you build your resource. That's a human connection there. And that's the whole point of group psychotherapy, is to bring people together so we can support each other. And when people come together and understand each other's perspective, because psychodrama says, I'm going to take your eyes and put them in mine so I can see you through your eyes, and you put my eyes into yours so you can see me through my eyes. And we can both understand each other. So there's a new perspective, new insight into an old situation. And psychodrama hopes that a new perspective, a new insight to an old situation is a form of change, becomes a change agent. Otherwise, hurt people hurt others. And we want to change that. I mean, this world would be a more harmonious place, peaceful place, if we understood each other's pain and did not attack each other for the pain.
Because it's very weird to understand that most of the people now, we are in anticipation. We are just anticipating the things. Generally we say ki never judge a person with a cover. You should go inside. We anticipate a different story for anyone around us. We don't want to listen to them. We don't give time for them to express. We don't give them that confidence that yes, I am there to listen. We just create one story. Okay, if she is doing something, so this might be the reason.
Correct.
So
you're saying one thing, but I was going to quote Dorothy.
Yeah.
Dorothy Satin, the late Dorothy Satin, was an amazing psychodramatist, and she was my original trainer. And one of her quotes is very similar to what you just said. If people do not reveal themselves, other people will invent them. And they will fall in love with their invention, not the real person. They fall in love with the invention and they will eventually be wrong. Exactly what you said, just a
Correct,
different
correct.
view.
See, yeah, just the words are changed,
words
but
are
the
changing.
meaning is very
Yeah.
similar. That's what we are facing nowadays in the life.
No, I was just saying that, like people, when you say step into others' shoes, and you're saying understanding. So that's the problem. People try to understand the other. He's not understanding. He's being in the role. He's feeling. As if I am you. It's a whole lot different than understanding.
That's why, it's out of context, but nowadays we are seeing
Am I right?
the divorces are become a trend. So because we are not trying to understand my partner, we always try to force what I want. We don't want to understand them, I think. And nowadays, we are seeing in everywhere so many influential people, they are getting divorced. I don't want to name it. Become sometimes, so I feel like it might be because they have this thing to be in the media all the time that they are doing.
So they're trying to understand. That's why it is not working. They have to become that. Then things will, I'll get you. Got that?
It gets very intimate when you put yourself in somebody else's shoes. I mean, you were sitting here and you said, oh, I'm going to start crying, as we just said your mother's name, right? Because you put yourself in her shoes. It wasn't like I'm just talking about my mother. You became your mother. You felt what it was like to be your mother.
Right.
That's a sense feeling in the body.
Because the psychodrama, I really got connected with this thing. Recently, I came to know about this. I've spent almost 15 years within the theater team, theater circuit and all, and we never spoke about psychodrama. So many big teachers, trainers, they are few are in the Bollywood also. They never mentioned the psychodrama. And when I was doing theater, I used to feel that theater is not only for actors.
Correct.
Theater is a life.
Yeah.
Theater teaches us many things. For me, everyone is doing theater, whether it's a doctor, whether it's a lawyer, whether we as a human in household, mother is playing a role of a mother. She has to be mothered every day morning.
That's exactly how Jacob Marino started that initially. It's like an open theater. People would come and enact their day-to-day frustrations and role play it out. And that's how it started. And that's exactly why the Marino Collective wants psychodrama to be known and in India.
I was always theater I wanted to promote, but people were not able to relate with that. So I think now that psychodrama is something that everyone will relate with.
So, in theater, what happens? See, I was also in theater for a long time. So we are reading scripts, pre-written scripts, right? We read that, we mug that up, memorize that, and we deliver that and try to become that actor, that character. In psychodrama, there's no scripts. Okay? It's like a theater of spontaneity.
And creativity.
In that moment, okay? In the moment, it's in the here and now. What comes up, you do. You get in touch with your inner self and you just do it.
True. Nowadays, we are facing this thing. We are everywhere except present.
Correct. Yeah. There is no rehearsal in psychodrama.
Yeah.
Even if we have to do the same thing again, it would not be the same.
It'll come out very different.
Correct. Even I don't remember. I will not remember what I said that time.
Yes. Yeah. So part of psychodrama that has helped me is understanding who I am and knowing who I am. Because the more I know myself, the less confused I am. Yeah. And when I'm less confused, my anxiety is going to come down. And if I'm feeling depressed, it's going to pull me up from my depression. And Amitabh, you're a psychiatrist. Tell me how many people come to you saying, I'm depressed and I'm anxious.
So I'll tell you honestly, the people who come with depression, anxiety, at least 70%, of the people are depressed and anxiety because of the issues in their childhood, in the past. And what they react to in the present is actually not what they're reacting to. They are hijacked into the past. They're reacting to what they did in the past. They're getting triggered. You understand? And these people can at least in my experience, I'm not like going against the psychiatrists, other psychiatrists, they could not be helped with medications. Only medications. I mean, yes, medications are important in the initial part when they're very depressed and they cognitively can't think. It works, but eventually, a lot of therapeutic models, are very effective. And out of all that I know, psychodrama is the most effective. I do it a lot.
As the other day you were saying, now medicines can only treat present, not the past.
Yeah, medicine is like a painkiller.
Painkiller.
It numbs you.
It numbs you. Relatives are happy. Okay, the patient is not aggressive, not crying all the time.
Manageable.
Chalo, manageable. ठीक है भाई. You understand? It's like that. Okay. And patients also is saying, chalo, I'm feeling good. Okay. But they're not out of it.
Quality of life is affected. So there's a difference between surviving and thriving. And when you work through and process spontaneously and with creativity, old unprocessed situations of pain and suffering, you're walking and you're moving towards thriving in life. I think that's all everybody wants.
And generally people hesitate to consult like anything when it start with psyche, whether it's psychotherapy, psychodrama, psychiatrist, whatever comes to now, that kind of thing has become like some mental block that if I'm consulting or if I'm talking to someone like that, people will think I'm mad.
Anukul, I'll tell you, you're right what you're saying, but in the younger generation is not that. There's a change I can see in India. Okay. I have so many patients, teenagers, they come for therapy and they say their parents have not approved, but they want help. Teenagers, they understand. But the parents, because we are always taught, you have to be strong. If you are depressed, it means you're weak. Okay. No, it's not weak. Another thing, people think, if I'm depressed, it means I'm less intelligent. No, you're not. Okay. You are intelligent, but in depression, you cannot access the cognitive brain, You got that? You cannot use your intelligence. It doesn't mean your intelligence is gone, vanished.
It's not accessible.
Yes. So, the same brain which has caused the problem cannot cure the problem. You understand? So you have to when they go in a different direction. So medicines, it just numbs you. It's like, as I said, it's like a painkiller. If you have a broken bone, if I give you medicines, you will not feel the pain. That doesn't mean your bone is healed.
Okay.
The bone has to be healed. Correct or not?
Yeah.
Same way. If you are depressed, you are anxious, it did not fall from the sky, right? There are some causes, there are some issues. Maybe in the present time, past, whatever. Those issues has to be addressed. So many things cannot be addressed by talking. You got that? Yeah. So when somebody is triggered with their past issues, for example, right? That time the frontal cortex, the cognitive brain shuts. You can't think. So you're going on explaining, do this, do that, don't do this. It's not going in when they're triggered. And when the patient is fine, you give all the therapies and all the gyan and lectures you want to give. Okay? And when the patient is triggered, the brain is shut. Now they can't access what has been told to them. So what they do now? So they're gone for therapy. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, people are going on for therapy. You understand?
I want to ask one thing. When we started demonstration, first you asked me what comes in your mind when you want to feel where you can, like I said, mountain. Okay. So is it like, I thought that we will be talking something about mountains. Suddenly you took me to a very different zone.
Because we are looking at a resource that can inspire you, make you feel better. Sure, nature will do that. The mountain was way for you to relax your body because that is a resource for you. And once our body relaxes, we are able to be a little more vulnerable. And we can tap into more deeper issues, deeper sensations. And that's how your mother's name came up.
Because whenever I feel low, I go to mountains.
Correct. That's
So
a coping
you took
skill.
me there first.
Yes.
So when
You relaxed
so that
and then you could drop into your feelings.
So I was in mountain thinking for mother. I was not here in
Right.
the studio.
Right.
That's right.
really it's like very impactful. I'm still in that zone. I'm like everywhere now. It's really it's going to help me a lot. It's really I feel that. So, but now I want to understand, like, because I understood the power of psychodrama. So, who all can learn psychodrama, and what are, like, is there any prerequisite, something eligibility, something like to do that? Because anyway, you are here for training only.
Yes.
So,
I'm here to provide the training.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I really want to understand that who all can learn psycho, who all can become a trainer.
Definitely therapists who are practicing other modalities. This would be an addition that would be very helpful for them. Mental health professionals with master's degrees. However, I've been doing this for 24 years. I know one thing, that the trainings have to be really good in explaining the theory, but also the practical exercising. And therefore, the trainings have to be by experienced trainers who are competent, because after all, we are dealing with human life here, people that have been traumatized. And if the trainings are not up to par, you can really do a lot of damage and re-traumatize a group member. The training should be done by trainers. We spend a lot of years training, getting the hours, getting the supervision, in giving exams, and then I became a certified practitioner. And now I'm a practitioner in training to become a trainer, educator, and practitioner. These are very important hours that we spend in learning just not the theory, but practicing it in groups under supervision. Very important. Otherwise, a lot of damage can be done because people's emotions come up, and we have to be trained and and have the expertise to manage and regulate those emotions and contain them. That containment of emotions is very helpful and important and essential for someone's grounding and mental health. Otherwise, if there is not enough closure and not enough trained, experienced trainers who are providing the directing, that participant is going to go home feeling very dysregulated. And that's going to impact their day-to-day life functioning. So the risk is that there are people that might learn a few hours of psychodrama, do a few workshops, and then they're like, oh, I'm ready to do it. No, there are very specific rules that are there, at least with the American Board of Examiners, where I come from. And, Amitabh and Lynn can talk about India. I had to do 780 hours of training, and only after a certain number of hours, workshops I slowly started introducing the vignettes, the little exercises, all under supervision. And I was a trained therapist who was doing other modalities and realized, oh, this is so important ethically, that respect and dignity of the client, of the group member, maintaining it is so important. So they are not dysregulated.
You said very like crucial point, because I generally see nowadays, we all are seeing because of social media intervention in the society, everyone are self-proclaimed experts. Like, just having
Armchair
followers.
therapy.
Yeah, just having followers in millions or lakhs. They claim themselves as a therapist, like, and they are just fooling people around. Like, and rightly you said, they are harming instead of supporting them. So is there any like, what's the right way to check whether that person is really qualified? Or
well, check their credentials, make sure that they have had all the training that's necessary.
I think here Psychodrama Collective will be a right place to check.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
So, it's not only about checking who is a trained trainer and who is capability. It's also, the responsibility of the person. You got that? Like, if I am getting trained in psychodrama, I am responsible to learn it in a proper way, because I'll be dealing with human lives. Okay. I should do no harm. If I cannot do anything, that's fine, but I should do no harm. Now, I go and try to help a person, and the person has lots of traumas in their childhood. I'm going to re-traumatize that person. See, I learned psychodrama, I start training, want to earn money, I want to get those accolades, I want to have a board outside my office. All those are fine. But the first thing comes that I am going to deal with another life. Will I do it with someone of my loved ones? That's the question every person should ask.
Every therapist or
Every
clinician.
therapist. With whatever little training I got, will I treat, will I like someone else like me treating my child, my sibling, my father, mother? No, right? It's not given to someone's hands. So why should I do that? So it's a trainer's responsibility also. Before self-declared trainers, this is important. Yes, money is important. Money gives us a good life, but not at others' life, right? The cost of others' life or others' well-being. Correct? So this is very important.
Like we should check whether the therapist is in the profession because of purpose, passion, or just
Yes.
for
And see, I'll tell you, clients, when they understand, you understand, after some time they'll understand. They continue only when they do not know what to do. Okay. So this is very important.
Today this episode has like very speechless for me, because what all my awareness about myself has increased, and it's just a starting. I know that there's a lot to explore within myself, because I generally say that there are so many I within me, that's like collectively I'm becoming me.
Yeah.
But thanks a lot for your time and your wisdom, what you shared with us. So, I just want like if you think that you can tell to our audience that what all psychodrama can play role in their life and what all psychodrama can help in a general way.
Thank you for inviting me and letting me give my 2 cents about about psychodrama. I'm very passionate about it. Have been using it for 24 years, and I do believe it really saved my soul. So I think the more people are willing to take a chance to introspect in a experiential way, understanding themselves, building their self-worth, it's going to impact their ability to cope with life. It's going to improve their coping skills. It's going to improve their quality of life, the desire to live life and come from a place of abundance than a place of scarcity. When we are depressed, anxious, bitter, resentful, we are coming from a place of scarcity. Like there's not enough to give, not enough love to give, not enough love to receive. That changes with psychodrama. It helps us open up, gives us space, safety to show the world who I am as a person. And coming from a place of abundance, not only am I giving more, I'm also willing to receive it. Selfless or selfish, those are two survival ends of the continuum. Self-care is I give a little, I make space, and I'm willing to receive. And that's a very balanced way of living life. It's a very place to be full of content and peace. And that psychodrama helps. So anxiety, depression, obsessiveness, ruminating, these are all very taxing for the body. And psychodrama, since it's action method, it gets action, movement involved, allowing the body to release pent up, stored up memories and making it, people talk about feeling lighter. You just mentioned, I feel lighter.
Correct, yeah.
That is exactly what happens. And I believe that makes us a better person to be on this earth and have a purpose. And people's motivation, passion, wanting to have a fulfilling life, that's the impact it has.
This particular topic, it's never ending. I'll tell you, from almost like 3-4 months, we have like planned to come up with a show, the dedicated show for mental health. And as Asli Kahani is our main name, so that show name also we have given as like Asli Man Ki Baat.
Yeah.
So we generally don't speak out of that, and we were not able to format that show, how that show should come. But now I think I got clarity that we would love like Psychodrama Collective to be like different, maybe online, because everyone will be different.
More in a Psychodrama Collective.
Yeah. So we will be like having a different topics and different dates. We want like all of your trainers, teachers, interns should come and we'll can connect on online, and if they are in the city where our team is, we can come sit. We'll plan something like
Yes, sure.
the Asli Man Ki Baat ko we have to make it live.
And to my knowledge, I'll tell you something. Probably you're the first one, who interviewed a practitioner from the American Board of Examiners for the first time in India. To my knowledge.
That's like
Okay?
really a
About
pride.
psychodrama.
I think that's a blessing what we are having in Asli Kahani,
Yeah.
that we have done so many things first time on this platform.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's because you have the intention of bringing the Asli Kahani outside. Not just any Kahani.
Yeah.
Asli Kahani.
We believe in like talking to people who are in the process, who are in the journey.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not we don't wait for something happen,
No,
because
people talking about psychodrama by reading Google. It will not work.
No, it's also about what I think. I after I got introduced to you, I was reading up, and what I understood is that you want to journey with people in their growth,
yes,
not when they've become luminaries.
correct.
You want to journey with them.
We journey with them. Then
Yeah.
only we can understand better.
Yes.
Like whenever we are writing in magazine also, when we did guest also, before writing about that, I wanted to experience.
Yeah.
So this time I missed psychodrama, like Moreno Psycho Collective
Now I'll
Workshop.
keep you informed. don't
Yeah,
worry.
next time I will definitely
People
be a
like you
part.
should do psychodrama. You're asking who should do. If people like you should do psychodrama.
Everyone should do.
You-
Today I
you
understood.
travel-
Everyone
Yes.
should
You
do.
travel 80% of the country on bike. You're the best person to learn psychodrama.
So
The amount
that's
of
nice.
experience you have is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. So with this note to our audience, that yes, we'll be coming up with more episode based on mental health. Thanks a lot, Dr. Amitabh, Lynn, and Sulabha ma'am. So like it's really amazing day today, and we just want to tell our audience that we are shooting midnight. Yeah, so you'd had a long day, hectic day, and still you take out time to come and speak
we
about
had a
all
whole day
this.
of training today.
All the
And we are very grateful to be here.
thanks.
We are
a lot.
Yes.
we are very grateful that we are able to participate with all the other people whose journey you have been documenting, and we are very grateful that you are documenting our journey as
Yeah.
well right from the beginning.
And
We are very grateful for that.
And you
We are-
invited us to speak about psychodrama.
Yeah.
We are all very passionate about it.
It's like same for me. This is a passion. For you, psychodrama is a
Yes,
passion.
yes.
So we all are passionate people sitting.
Yeah.
That's why our energy is still like on that.
Yes, absolutely.
It's amazing. Like if like now, if you want anything, you have shared so many things for the audience. For to conclude, if you have some special or short, if you can just tell our audience like what all they can take from this talk and the psychodrama and the Moreno Psychodrama Collective.
Learn psychodrama. Get trained in psychodrama.
I want to quote a teacher I met recently. Her name is Marcia Karp. She's a very flamboyant lady. And one of the things she said to the group, which stood with me, is, I have to be me because everyone else is taken. So my invitation to anybody who's watching this is, be you. You have everything you need to be you, and don't try to be anybody else.
And psychodrama will help you to be you.
Don't steal my thunder. Yes, he's right. Psychodrama will help you find out what makes you you and how you are so special as you. So yes, learn psychodrama and be you.
Perfect. So
And I'll tell you one more thing. This passion for psychodrama does not only come from practicing psychodrama. It also comes from all my teachers. When you see your teachers, like they're so passionate. Of course, you want to be like them.
yeah, correct.
They travel from one part of the world to another, to teach psychodrama. So, it's an infection, you get infected with the passion.
The
Passion is
good
very
kind of
infective.
infection.
Huh?
We generally say in Asli Kahani, na, give back to the society.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, of course.
yes.
We all the idea again. I'll just for a brief. I'll tell you. Idea behind Asli Kahani is like I feel of complete team. We all feel that every human being is a special. Everyone has a unique story, unique experiences, and everyone has to leave this earth one day. We have to leave this world, this form of the body. So why should that experiences what we have learned should go with us? It should be documented somewhere.
Yeah.
It will definitely help many in the coming generations. So before thanks to watching Asli Kahani, and keep supporting us, like us, share us, and comment if you have anything related to psychodrama. You will get details of all these amazing people, and please do reach out to them and make your life better. For before signing off, we have one small appreciation token for all of you. So we just want to present you that.